It sucked. the girl, the girl's motivation, the world that surrounds her, that she ends up rebelling against by the end, consisted of her boss, who's racist and controlling, and a damn cashier down the street at a store that she doesn't even really go into who's homophobic. Those are the only two dudes that represent the entire world that she lives in. So she's supposed to be, we're just supposed to assume that since it's the 60s, that everybody, or early 60s, I guess, that everybody's real prim and proper and, or something like that. So she feels repressed. And it's like the whole world's holding her down. No, it isn't. Her boss is holding her down. That's it. So the director failed in that point in giving us an entire her of making the world broader for her to rebel against. Because by the end of it, she's actually does some dickhead stuff. Um, you end up. I did not like her by the end of the film. Um, about 2/3 through, or the last act, she does some stupid crap. Like she gets the fish man home. She wants to bone down with him, so she goes in the bathroom with him and locks all the doors and windows and turns the sink on and the bathtub on and lets it fill the room to the ceiling with water, right? Never mind that would have took all effing day, but just so she could get in the water with him and float around. Um, but what it does is the water not only floods her and her entire floor of her apartment, ruining her best friend, the gay dude next door, ruining his apartment and God knows who else's apartments on that floor. But the water goes through the floor into a movie theater that is below her apartment. And when you're watching the scene, you're thinking, you go, girl. You rebel. You get it on with your fish man. You get it on with that fish man. And you just let the waters fly. Let the spray that water everywhere. Give it out to everybody. But that fails because the movie theater downstairs is owned by a nice old dude who is like nice to her. He's a friend of hers. And water comes cascading through the ceiling onto his patrons in the theater, and everybody leaves. You hear the old man going, "What the fuck's what's going on?" And so you kind of feel like she's an asshole. Like that's a dick move, dude. Like, why would you do that to that guy down there? He's a cool theater owner. So that went right past the director. He didn't see that, Guillermo. What else is there? Oh, at one point she talks about the fish, her black nurse friend, the girlfriend that she has that she works with. Never mind that she somehow tells her that she got it on with the fish man, right? Now, if their relationship, the fish man and her, is supposed to be so special and so heartwarming to you, to us in the audience, what is she doing telling her girlfriend about his junk, dude? I mean, the black chick goes, he doesn't have a penis. There's just scales there, and the mute chick's all like, does some hand signal to explain it. She's all like, and she goes like that, and the black chick's all like, ooh, that's so cute. Ooh, you go, girl. And you're just like, this is effing retarded. She's now talking about her fishman's junk to her friends, and 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 it's just I can't believe she would do that. So she rains water down on the nice old man's theater. She's talking about her fishman's dick, and what else does she do? She does some really like ballsy stuff, like she gives the villain the bird or something behind his back, and we're supposed to be like, yeah, you go, girl, you get your power back, but you just don't feel it. You just don't feel it. Um, by the end of the film, I thought of her as selfish, and then she has the fish man at home in the bath, and then she bones down with him, and the whole time, and the fish man's not super intelligent, man. He's like a dog or something. He's she gives him food. He's like a pet to her, a cute pet that's different, that's so different. And now she's boning down with it, and like, and I got the impression he didn't really care to bone down. He may not have even cared. He didn't. But anyway, she basically like kind of forced herself on him. So, dude, by the end of the film, I just wasn't liking her. I just didn't like her. I was like, you're taking advantage of a mentally handicapped alien, and you're talking about his junk, and you're raining water on all your friends and shit. So, I didn't like her by the end of it. The villain is a problem. The villain, I can't remember his name. Um, he is, first off, all the characters are in it are impossible. They're not real humans. Like this would have made a better comic book, but the villain in it um, says the F word too many times. Like that's what probably got it its R rating. Um, he drops the N bomb like 3 or 4 times. Now the director thought that that was going to strike us in the audience to the core. Like, oh my God, he's using the N word. Oh my God, he said that to a black lady. Oh my God, he's so callous. But dude, it's outrageous. The dialogue in this is impossible. No human would say these things. Even the most vile human from Mississippi Burning wouldn't have even come up with the crap he said. He said stupid crap, and impossible callousness, dude. Impossible character. But they also show the main chick topless like twice in the film, and a full and partial full nudity. Totally unnecessary for a film of this caliber. We're supposed to be into the romance of this. We don't want to just see some girl's titties on the screen, dude. That's not really going to do it for us. And she jacks it, dude. She jacks it in the bathtub, like at the beginning of the film. You just see the camera right in front of the bathtub. It says titties and her jacket in. And you're just like, and it was a little, I don't know what the word is. It was just a little too far, man. You're just like, okay, we see her jacking it. Like, let's cut to the next scene. We know she jacks it. So what? Um, the other scene that they have in pointless nudity is the main villain is having sex with his wife, and he's got his socks and his black knee-high socks on, and he's got his shoes on or something. Luckily, he's still wearing his button-up shirt with a tie on, but you see his ass and legs on his wife in the bedroom, just plowing, dude, just and that's all you're looking at is his ass and legs, tag, 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 and it went on for like 10 seconds, and you're just looking at the screen. And at one point, I wanted to turn away. I was like, I understand asses are bouncing. I understand a man's ass is bouncing in front of the camera. This is great. It reminded you of the Disaster Artist. Like it was that over the top. Just the James Franco, just fucking ass, just bouncing. So that was that wasn't necessary. The F bombs weren't necessary, dude. So it got an R rated for nothing. That thing could have been PG, dude, and would have been a big hit, big hit. Anyway, I'll compliment it later. What else is there? What was I going to say? What else is there? The general. The general. When the Fishman goes missing, the general, the boss of the villain, shows up and starts berating him and like telling him he failed. And the villain dude goes, "Hey man, we've been friends for 13 years, and I've been a great asset. I've never failed, and it's just this one time. Can we I'll get him back, but don't stress me out." And the general says impossible things a general at 60-year-old general would never say in that time. He like makes sci-fi references. He's like, you have failed us, Lord Vader. He's like, he was talking like he was Palpatine or something. And he's like, if you were to die tomorrow, it would be okay. If there's a silhouette of you, we need to cut the silhouette of you out of the universe so that the universe would be whole again. And you're looking at this, and the villain dude's just sitting there taking it. And he says something like, you should go to another dimension. His dialogue was just absurd. It was impossible. It was crap like a sixth grader would come up with. But anyway, I know why it won awards. It's because they dropped the N-bomb a bunch of times. And that's supposed to strike us to the core. Fuck that. And it just, none of it was real, man. The whole movie wasn't real. The girl ends up being an asshole. The villain is just an impossible dude. These guys are he's supposed to be a professional dude. And he's sitting here cussing the whole film, just constantly cussing. It does nothing. Anyway, there's like there was just, and then there was a funny scene where there's a Russian dude who's dying. He's like been shot and he's bleeding to death. And the villain goes up to him and is like, "Tell me who took the fish man." And he's like, yeah. He's the director thought that the Russian would seem vulnerable, and I'm dying. Oh, don't interrogate me for information while I'm dying, please, villain. We already know you're an asshole in the film. Please don't make yourself more of an asshole. And while the villain's trying to get answers out of him, it's funny. The scene is funny because the Russian, in the attempt to look pitiful, is sitting there going, "Oh God, oh Lord, oh, I'm dying, oh, know, we're supposed to be watching this going, oh, look at that villain being a dick to that poor dying Russian man. But it just wasn't, dude. You're laughing at the Russian because he's dying very funny, in a very funny way. So, what else is there? Anyway, dude, I'm calling it. I call it. I know you guys are gonna give me shit, but like I said, the movie should have been PG, and should have been, kids should have been able to go see it, dude. And it could have had a lot more. It could have had romance. It doesn't have romance. The fish man's like a pet, and then she takes him home and bones him. So it's just that's ludicrous. She basically took advantage of him, dude, of a mentally handicapped alien, dude. So but they could have gone that route, dude, and made this a real cool romance movie. Um, and they could have dealt with the societal issues of the early '60s a lot better, a lot cooler, and um, they could have made the world broader, dude. They could have done so many things. Could have been a great film, dude. Great film. Fishman, you know, he was just a cute pet, like as if us adults, because it's an R rating, are supposed to go. Women are supposed to go. I wish I had a fish man that I could feed eggs and graham crackers to, and then when I want to be naughty, naughty, I can go get it on with fish man. It's like, no, dude, no, no, no. We left going. You raped that fish man, and you kidnapped him, or whatever. Screw you. So anyway, you guys can go ahead and give me shit. But like I said, I'm not just bitching. It could have been a great movie. So go ahead and give me all the shit you got, dude. Tell me all about how it broke your heart and it was a love story for the ages. No, it wasn't, dude. There was hardly anything to laugh at in the film. There was no real romance. I didn't cry once, and I like crying. I wanted to cry. So you go ahead and tell me about how wonderful the damn movie is.